The legal battle over a massacre in Iraq a decade ago is heading back to the US courts. Judges ordered the resentencing of 3 operatives from the private US security contractor formerly known as Blackwater. A 4th faces a complete retrial. The 4 guards opened fire with machine guns and grenade launchers in Baghdad's Nisour Square back then. 14 unarmed civilians were killed and 17 others were injured. The guards argue that they were under fire from insurgents, but no witnesses support that claim. The carnage at the time drew widespread condemnation and raised serious questions about the military's accountability in Iraq.
Request permission to engage with intent to conduct a smash. Over.
There were dead bodies everywhere on the street. The car in front of me was burning with 2 people inside. Among the dead bodies lying on the street, I saw a child's body, probably 7 years old.
Blackwater was on the US government payroll, earning at about $3 billion. It secured a contract bonanza that ensued after the 2003 US invasion of Iraq. Operating as part of the US occupational authorities, Blackwater gained notoriety over its conduct, its security flaws and its disciplinary problems at the time. Following the massacre, the company rebranded, but it's still operating. It seems that scandal has done little to dent the US government's appetite for working with military contractors. It's a practice that's still thriving, as Jacqueline Vouga explains.
Meet Eric Prince, the founder of Blackwater, a private military company with a controversial reputation. With its legacy, you might expect Prince's career to be over, but this could not be farther from the truth. There's no backlash for him, no shame. The man's gun-for-hire business is booming.
What I care about as a taxpayer is that we're largely wasting $45 billion a year in Afghanistan. I don't think it's appropriate to pull out completely.
With all the wars the US is waging abroad, times are lucrative for private security firms. Yet you'd struggle to find one with an untainted slate. DynoCorp, for example. For over a decade, the US State Department was giving almost 70% of its funding for Afghanistan to this particular firm. This company's record features a sex slavery scandal in Bosnia, a male prostitution scandal in Afghanistan, and also there, a botched $70 million worth construction project. War also means big business for Sallyport Global, who were paid nearly $700 million to secure an Iraqi base. They allegedly turned a blind eye to alcohol smuggling, theft, security violations, and allegations of sex trafficking, and then fired investigators who uncovered wrongdoing. That's all according to an Associated Press investigation. The list of controversy goes on, yet private security firms are doing just fine and filling their coffers with the spoils of war. Jacqueline Vouga, RT, Washington, D.C.
I got reaction from the founder of Shock Monitor, a group that monitors private contractors' human rights records. He believes the companies lack accountability for their violations.
The U.S. Committee on Oversight and Government Reform from the U.S. assessed that during the period 2005 to 2007, Blackwater was involved in 195 incidents involving firing. So you can imagine, the grave impact on human rights provoked from all these cases. The huge majority were not going through a judicial process. I was living during periods in Iraq, and I can tell you the terrible image that Blackwater and other PMSCs has in the country. There is a lack of public accountability, of public scrutiny over these activities. So we need to use international tribunals, international norms in order to attribute responsibility to the security contractors.